Howdy, and welcome to Lead to Grow Lesson 5 on leading and managing. In Lesson 5, we're going to explore if you have a bent toward being efficient or effective. At a recent family dinner, I posed a question for some fun discussion. I challenge everyone to come up with word pairs that are almost always said together and that have the word and between the two words. Everyone joined in, and I was surprised to see how many word pairs we came up with. It was amazing. In the food category, we came up with word pairs such as salt and pepper, peanut butter and jelly, and macaroni and cheese. In the business and professional category, we came up with word pairs such as policies and procedures, roles and responsibilities, cause and effect, symptom and root cause, efficient and effective, and leading and managing. As you can imagine, this game went on and on to the point that it became downright silly. Even after we got home, someone would occasionally yell out another word pair. Of course, I love the family fun that this encouraged. But I found it interesting that these word pairs typically appear in a certain order and are almost always said jointly as though they need to work together for the best results. We all have a tendency to categorize and prioritize, to place concepts and items into a certain structure and order. With these word pairs, we often imagine the pair as a single item or as one item automatically following the other. Yet this is not always the case. Later that evening, I reflected on the word pairs we named in the professional and business category, particularly efficiency and effectiveness. Regardless of your bent, effective leadership requires both leading and managing. In the book Built to Last, Collins and Perez called it the genius of the and. Every leader and manager can achieve greater success by viewing matters through the lens of efficiency and effectiveness. These represent two useful viewpoints, and while they sound similar, they mean different things. Having one does not automatically ensure the other will follow. They are also commonly misused and misinterpreted. So let's compare and contrast them starting here. People with a manager's mindset have a bent toward efficiency, and people with a leader's mindset have a bent toward effectiveness. So now let's look at survival and success. Efficiency is doing things right that determine your survival. And effectiveness is doing the right thing that determines your success. So let's compare and contrast efficiency, which is managing, and effectiveness, which is leading. Efficiency focuses on getting the maximum output with minimum resources. It is the process, the way of doing things. Effectiveness focuses on achieving the goal, the end result, the final outcome. Now let's compare and contrast efficiency and effectiveness regarding the status quo and change. Efficiency is concerned with maintaining the status quo. It is that it keeps things orderly to be efficient and requires discipline and rigor. Effectiveness believes in meeting the end goal by considering any variables that may change in the future and keeps the long-term strategy in mind and is therefore more adaptable to changing environment. Now let's compare and contrast efficiency and effectiveness with a look at repetition and innovation. Efficiency requires documentation and repetition of the same steps and avoids mistakes and errors. Effectiveness encourages people to innovate and discover different ways to achieve the desired goal and is not afraid to make new mistakes. It's interesting that when you take or accept an extreme position, life gets out of balance and it restricts your potential results. If you are being efficient but not meeting the requirements of the organization's stakeholders like owners, investors, donors, customers, clients, efficiency would be of little use to anybody. In a similar way, effectiveness may result in success, but at what cost? So we must adapt ourselves as the occasion dictates by understanding that the most successful organizations need both efficiency, which is managing, and effectiveness, which is leading. This is why leadership is not better than management. It is a different function. And great leaders need great managers to maximize their potential. So don't forget the view today through the complementary lens of efficiency and effectiveness. I guarantee you it will improve your vision. Well, in lesson 5, we have explored if you have a bent toward being efficient or effective. So what is your primary lens, your bent? Are you restricting your potential by being stuck in an extreme position? How can you improve your leadership and management vision? Well, in this lesson 5, write down 1 or 2 action items that you would like to take today. And this concludes lesson 5 on leading and managing.